Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is a day old and a dollar short. Now this is a different update from the other ones. People are talking about this Interstellar Comet, 3IATLAS, RF emission stuff. But the latest stuff I'll just share with you in my opinion is it appears most of it exploded, or it's a kind of like a probe that's launching itself into outer orbit, leaving the solar system, and basically going to this galaxy that's invisible. Some people are saying that there's a galaxy that used to be there, or a solar system that used to be there, that's no longer there, and it says that they're saying that this comet is, or probe or whatever, is heading to this location, and this location might not have disappeared, that it might be actually invisible, that they made this solar system or this star cluster invisible because they have the technology to do this. Now this is just speculation. This is just what some people are saying is where this observer probe is headed, which, or it could have blew up. Now, I also want to share something else. This is my personal take, my opinion, my view. You can take it or leave it. I'm just voicing my opinion, my feelings on it. Is basically why is the government shut down during this time? I wanted to throw that in there. The government shut down during this time, and a lot of senators are getting, all of the Congress people are getting paid, but they don't have to show up for work. Well, if we didn't show up for work, anybody who works or whatever, you wouldn't get paid, would you? They'll fire you and replace you because we're a dime a dozen. All of us, they'll just replace us, replace anyone. And what do you suppose that is? They get all this money and they're not there. And all happens to be when this thing passed us a while back and observed Mars. It almost hit Mars. And according to a lot of people, it doesn't act, the scientist community and everything, it doesn't act like a rock just going through the solar system. That it actually had a direction, a navigate. Basically, it was being navigated. All right, let me read some of this stuff. I did my best to find one. I know this is a day or two. Oh, that's why I kind of updated you right away. I just wanted to do something different from the other people. This is from a day or two. This kind of give you an idea of the basic nonsense that scientists are saying, or NASA or whatever. And I might skip their names. You can read that yourself. It says update 08 November 2025. This was 2 or 3 days ago. But I wanted to give you kind of a heads up, an overallness of what it is, kind of like a little summary. There's plenty of that stuff, of updated stuff on this. I just wanted to do my take my way. Interstellar Comet 3I, or 3IATLAS set a new first in its class on 4th November. The MeerKAT radio telescope detected natural signal coming from the comet. 1600 megahertz range. Moreover, the natural signal had notches at 1665 megahertz and 1667 megahertz, which occurred due to OH absorption, whatever that is. Detection is the first time a radio spectrum of an interstellar object has been obtained. How many red flags you need to find out this isn't natural? This is not natural. Astronomers have been left stunned by the sudden surge in brightness from the comet, a rare interstellar traveler. Now making a close pass around the sun, in a matter of weeks, it has transformed from a faint object into a dazzling spectacle, brightening far more rapidly than experts had anticipated. Ordinarily, a comet's glow strengthens slowly as the sun's heat causes its frozen surface to vaporize. But Atlas is breaking the pattern. Data indicate its luminosity is increasing at nearly double the rate seen in most comets, hinting that powerful and unpredictable processes could be unfolding deep within its core. Watching from solar spacecraft. And here's a quick one for you. Why don't we have zoom in pictures of this? Why don't we have zoom in pictures from when it was in Mars, by Mars? We have a telescope out there with a near perfect display. Why aren't they releasing these pictures? Why are they all like infrared pictures or staticky pictures? Why don't they just zoom in this thing, which they did? Why aren't they releasing these pictures? Is it because they're hiding something? I think so. Just like how they can zoom in on Mars or any planet in the solar system, but they don't show a whole lot of those pictures, do they? Just like how we have Google Maps where we can zoom into so many feet and then it becomes blurry, but you can kind of see the overallness of the houses, cars, details of the ocean, and in some cases you can even see the sharks in the ocean swimming by the coastlines and stuff. Because the comet recently passed almost directly behind the sun from Earth's point of view, ground-based telescopes couldn't track its progress. Well, not anymore because of the light and stuff. But they do have those lenses. Instead, researchers turned to satellites built for solar observation. In other words, staticky pictures, infrared. And you can read the rest of that part, like including NASA's Stereo A. And excuse me. And so on. Using these instruments, astronomers, and that guy's name or guy or woman's name of Lower Observatory and Carl Batlam's of the U.S. Navy Research Laboratory. Oh, U.S. Navy is involved in this. Captured the comet's rapid evolution as it moved from about twice Earth's distance from the sun to just 1.36 astronomical units. A astronomical unit, I think, is the distance from the sun to Earth is 1 unit, I think it is. Zhang described the change as striking, with data showing that Atlas brightness increased steeply as its nearest perihelion, its closest approach to the sun, is shifted to blue light. Even more intriguing is the comet's change in color. Images reveal a distinctive bluish hue and a clue that gas is not just dust or driving the brightening. This points to volatile materials such as cyanogen and ammonia being released as solar heat intensifies. All right, let me tell you something about this blue light. This is my opinion, my take, my view. I always repeat that here and there. What does the nuclear missiles do when they go up to the atmosphere as the air gets thinner and thinner? What happens to the flame? It becomes blue. doesn't it? Okay, so it's probably it's just a it's probably something bad. It's probably a probe or something. Now I'm not getting on that hype of saying that it's not a rock or whatever, but if you go based on physics of what we know with our visual eyes, what the military does with different jet engines and all these other things, what does a propulsion system do as it goes to thinner air and thinner air and thinner air? No matter what fuel they're using, what does the flame do? It turns blue, doesn't it? Because of lack of oxygen, lack of air surrounding the fuel, and so they have to put what oxygen tanks in or certain types of gases that will still burn in low orbit. It turns blue, doesn't it? If you go based on observation of basic man-made jet propulsion systems, that's what this thing's doing. Just saying. I'm only going based on that. Okay. It says earlier observation had shown the comet's dust to be reddish, making this shift especially unusual and hinting at fresh material being exposed or new chemical reactions taking place on its surface. But yet they don't have any pictures. They don't have any 4K pictures, people. What does that tell you? Is that they do have them, but they're not showing you. No one. It says what might be pouring this or powering the surge. No one yet knows. Exactly what's causing the outburst. Scientists suspect it could be tied to the comet's composition, perhaps containing unusual volatile ices, or to stresses from its high-speed entry into the inner solar system. You mean outer now? Another possibility is that the object's long journey through interstellar space has altered its outer layers, setting the stage for the explosive brightness seen now. As Atlas emerges from behind the sun in November, December, which is now, astronomers on Earth will finally have a chance to observe it and keep it from us all. A mysterious traveler up close and perhaps uncover the secret behind its extraordinary glow. Last updated the 10 November 2025. And that's it. It's kind of a short video, but like I said, if you've ever observed an ICBM, whether through a video or in person, what does it do when it goes up there? The color changes to a blue. So that means there's a good chance that it's artificial, that it is not just a rock, people. That's my take. If I go based on what I know, that's why I'm using the ICBM and all those rockets that they launch. What color does the flame turn as it goes from an oxygen environment to a non-oxygen environment? Well, there is oxygen in space, but it's so thin that you have to compress it in a compressor. Just like when you're up there 30, 40,000 feet, and the airliners, what do? In the engines, they have a compressor that goes from the engines into the fuselage so that you can breathe air. The engines heat the air up, and it compresses it till it gets to, 13, 15 pounds of air. So it makes the thin air more pressurized, and then you can breathe it. If you look at the secret aircraft, spy aircraft, if you see them go into their cockpit with a little pump attached to their compression suit, like an astronaut suit. What is that pump? It's pumping air. It's compressing it into the pressure to pressurize the suit to, what was it, 10, 15 pounds square inch. And then it keeps the pressure at that pressure. So you can breathe the thin air. There you go. And so if you're in space and you have a good compressor, you can compress the outside air, but the compressor will, the Home Depot compressors aren't good enough, but if you could compress that air that's out in space or the heavens to 13, 15 pounds square inch from zero, from the thin, whatever the pressure is, to 15 pounds, 20 pounds, and then adjust it as you need it, you can breathe the air that's in space. All right, thank you so much for watching, and this was my take, my view, my opinion. You can take it or leave it. I'm just sharing thoughts and to open your mind. And this is my latest content. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Please subscribe to anyone's channel that's under 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I could use all the help I can get. Remember, it's completely free for everybody. All right. Moving on to the next video, everybody. Hope this opened your mind. Take care.